Alright, we reviewed classic Pixar films. Now let's go to a very underrated Pixar film now.
Big city race cars ever just take a drive?
Oh, you get hip to this time of tip.
Holy Porsche. Hey, do I spot a little pinstriping tattoo back there?
Oh, you saw that?
Well, how does a Porsche wind up in a place like this?
I fell in love.
Oh, Corvette.
Hey there, Mater.
So Cars came out in 2006. It is kind of like the Pixar film that nobody asked for and nobody wanted. And yes, this is the one that started all with the Cars trilogy. But you know what? That is fine. So Cars is, of course, about the world of cars. Instead of people, they're all cars. And then this racer named Lightning McQueen, he's basically this like spoiled underdog racer that just loves everything. He wants to be the winner, he wants to be famous, he wants to be in spotlight, until he got stuck in Radiator Springs. He got in a bit of a twist turn where he lost his truck Mac. He's landed in Radiator Springs, which is a town that he's not really used to, and he met some new friends and he learned some life lessons throughout. Now, Cars is a movie that I watched in a movie theater for the first time ever. Yes, this is the very first movie that I've ever seen in a theater. If you want to see like my first ever movie experiences, yes, go to my channel and find my very first movie experience. It's on a playlist of stories, so if you find it there, it's there. That'll say it's a pretty good and scary experience at the exact same time. Now, Cars, to me, I still liked Cars. I think Cars is a pretty underrated Pixar film. It's not great. It's not as good as The Incredibles or Monsters, Inc. and all of that stuff. This is a movie that looks like it's trying to be something. It looks like it's trying to be a movie that, like, everyone would love. And this movie does go with kids and adults as well. There are some adult moments, and there are some kids moments. What's really funny about this movie is there's a scene where, with the toilet scene, we get all the males in the toilet, and we get all the females in the toilet, and it makes sense, because that's an adult joke, because mostly females take more longer than males in toilets. What I heard from that, and that is pretty funny. The characters in the movie are not actually as bad as you think. Yes, Mater is not one of them. Lightning McQueen, played by Owen Wilson, I think he's a great character. I think he's a memorable character. Great voice casting. Owen Wilson did a pretty good job as Lightning McQueen. And yes, he does learn lessons throughout this entire movie. And I love how the life lessons go forward. Like, you don't have to be a racer to be a racer. And I really love that message throughout this entire film. This film is pretty emotional in some parts as well. And it's really surprising for a Cars movie. Like, there's a scene where him and Sally are looking for the view, and yeah, a lot of people don't go to Radiator Springs anymore. It used to be an old country until they made freeways, and no people go there anymore. And it is a pretty emotional scene, and that's music in the film. It was handled so really well. Also, some of the other characters were not bad too, like Sally, played by Bonnie Hunt. She actually did a pretty good job. She's not like a typical love interest for Lightning McQueen. She's actually kind of smart in some certain scenes. We also get Duck Hudson, which is my favorite character in this entire movie, because he has a very big emotional past that he was a racer until basically crashing. He couldn't be a racer anymore, and Paul Newman did a great voice casting at that role, and I'm so sorry that he died, because he was a legendary actor. And there are some really entertaining scenes and pretty clever jokes as well that I really liked when I rewatched this movie. Like, the racing scenes, they're really entertaining. The first opening scene of the racing scenes, they're very entertaining, and I really love the opening scene. I used to love the opening scene so much as a kid. I love that Real Gone song by Sheryl Crow. I love that song. I listen to it quite often. It's a good song. It is, and it's very memorable, because if you hear that song, you'd be like, oh, that song is from Cars. That's how the song is a little bit memorable. Yeah, this movie does have flaws as well. Let's talk about Mater. Now, Mater wasn't as bad in this movie than Cars freaking 2, which we're going to rant about that movie soon. I can't wait to do that. Tomei does have a bit of heart in this movie more than Cars 2. But yes, Mater is still pretty annoying. And Mater is definitely my least favorite character in the Cars movies. And yeah, there's nothing to say much. If you think of Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace in a Pixar movie, that is Mater. Because Mater is a pretty annoying character. And Larry the Cable Guy, yeah, you're getting a bad career out of yourself with Mater. And then you make movies like Tooth Fairy 2, like, just stop acting, just do back to comedy, stand up, because that's what you used to be doing. You used to be funny back in the day. The animation does look really good though. This movie looks great. Like, the whole landscapes in the movie, kind of like The Good Dinosaur and The Incredibles, what I said, it looks real. Like, the look of Radiator Springs and the mountains and all that stuff, it looks great. The scene where Lightning McQueen and Sally are just going for a bit of a drive, which is a really good lesson in this entire film, the whole scenery looked nice, it looks beautiful, and I really love how Pixar does the animation. They're trying to make it more as realistic as the other. And yeah, Cars is the very first movie I've ever seen in the theater, and I used to love Cars so much as a kid. And I watched Cars a lot of times as a kid, and yeah, until that THX story, and I stopped watching Cars, but then I got it, and I'm not scared of that THX thing anymore. Yeah, that got so many views, I'm really surprised by that. But, guys, overall, I did enjoy Cars. Of course, there are negatives in the film. There are some parts that did drag on. It's a bit 2 hours long. It's a little bit long, this movie, than it needs to be. But, guys, I still enjoyed Cars. It wasn't a great Pixar film by any means. There are some annoying characters like Mater. But this movie taught pretty good lessons. And there are some stuff in Cars that don't make sense. Like how the kids get born in Cars. Like, do they just make the kids? Like, yeah, there are theories that don't make sense with Cars. But Cars is my childhood movie. That makes this movie a bit more special to me. So guys, on my rating scale, I'm going to give Cars a B. So guys, my next review is going to be Ratatouille, then WALL-E, and then Up, and Toy Story 3, Cars 2, and Brave, and Monsters University. I think that's how it's going to go. I think after Monsters University, there's Inside Out, and I already reviewed all the other Pixar films. So guys, let me know down below if you have seen Cars. Do you like the movie or hate the movie? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day.